3i Atlas. Quick update. Just recently passed Mars, or is currently passing Mars. But when I say that, it's still like 23 million kilometers away, but it's at the closest point it's going to be as it passes Mars. So it's a great opportunity for a couple of the satellites that they have up there to focus on capturing images of it. Yet, I guess on October 2nd, they've got a few really good images, but the government won't release it. And nobody knows why.
Have you seen that image where it looks like a creature or something? It's like,
yes, that doesn't make any. That looks totally AI, though. I mean, that's
nah, bro. That's what they're doing. They're trying to contort your mind. We're going to start blaming everything on AI. Yes. Everybody is going to start questioning everything because of the advent of AI. Right? And the more and more and more AI evolves, the more and more people are going to question reality. So would it not make perfect sense now to start releasing authentic images that people are going to question because they're so outlandish and so abnormal to the things that we consider to be normal, that we're going to start saying it's AI?
So we have this interstellar object we've never had anything like this in our solar system. And all of a sudden the US is like, we're going to have a government shutdown. Don't worry about it.
Who cares? They have to get to their bunkers, bro.
What's that movie where like all the rich and famous have like the spaceship that they go to, and like the families
it's like Noah's Ark.
Yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
2012.
Do you think something like that exists in real life?
Of course. So if you look at places like Turkey, where they have all these underground cities that can house up to 20,000 people, they have interconnecting tunnels to other underground cities. And then if you go to China and have all these underground cities, there's a reason that happened. Yes. If you don't think that the rich and famous and the power structure of every nation doesn't have a place to go in terms of like a natural catastrophe, outbreak of a nuclear war, you just be naive. So I think every country, every leadership, like the EU, NATO, the United States, all superpowers have underground bunkers and probably like cities, underground interconnected cities.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, people have found abandoned like whole forts underground, like facilities that are like 30-foot ceilings and just massive.
Yeah, look what the Nazis could do with underground structures back in the day, so it's not that hard to hide stuff because it's very easy to point everyone's attention elsewhere while you're doing things like this.
A lot of these Nazi leaders that escaped went to like South America and like had whole cities built in the middle of the jungle for them to run.
If you go to look, there's a place in Chile called Colonia Dignidad, and it all comes from German and Western European settlers moving there. And that was an entire, if you look at now, even to this day, they dress with Bavaria style things. They celebrate Oktoberfest, all these things, and the lederhosen and all this, and their entire roots are based in Bavarian and German like ethnicity, and that's happened in Argentina, it happened in Brazil. I know this place, I think it's in Santa Catarina, there's a place down there. I know this lady and she's from a place, and there's all European settlers.
There's a myth or not controversy, what do you call it, a conspiracy that they sent a group of military to Antarctica after the war to map the land, and there was a lot of like test runs and planes that crashed from the ice storms, and all of that wasn't talked about when they wrapped up and pulled out. But there's theories that they weren't actually there to map the land. They were actually there because there was a whistleblower saying that Hitler was there, and they were going to find him.
Are you talking about like the Admiral Byrd missions?
Yes.
Yeah, like where he is that the guy that spoke about where he said there was like an entrance in the Antarctic that led to another world and all this kind of thing, like
the mission the mission itself was real. There was like 2,000 soldiers that went there to map the land and do like recon missions through ice storms to see what they could do. The theory was that they were just pulled out of nowhere. It was abrupt, but they never talked about the missions that they did do. They just said, we got what we needed and we left, but there's theories that they went there to try and track down Hitler.
It's very interesting that whatever, there is something down there. And like, obviously it wasn't always covered in ice. Yeah. So what did that landscape look like before it was covered in ice? Was it inhabited? Is it restricted because of what they put there, or is it restricted because of what they found there? I definitely think there was a civilization there.
If you want to get onto that theory of the ice wall and stuff, first off, I don't know how I feel about the ice wall. I love the idea of it. I think it's very intriguing. I don't know that I believe it exists, but I do think that, I mean, people learn to live in any climate. So if there was some sort of a native tribe that learned to adapt to that region, sure. I mean, people are found, they've found whole like families. The Hills Have Eyes is loosely based off of a finding of a family that was in caves, and they were all blind and pale skin, no hair. Like, you adapt to your climate. So had they found something there, or civilization, and there's some sort of a treaty with them, sure.
I don't think there's a civilization there currently. I think
why not? Because you can people live in igloos, and you can warm an igloo. Could there not be whole? You talked about it earlier. Whole cities underground.
Yeah. So why would they hide that from us? Why would they hide a civilization?
Why would there be an ice wall? I mean, I don't know. There's not, you and I will probably never go there. You can take a boat ride and go close and see like the land, but that's
like it. You're challenging me to do things, bro.
Yeah, I don't believe you're going to go there. Let's just throw it out there.
Oh, wow. That
if you're going,
go there
if you're going, we're going to be on the same boat. Let's put it that way.